All right, to start with your fresh fill, you're going to take your little pre-filter here. You're going to connect a hose down on the tip of this. You will take out your very front filter. You'll see that it's two different compartments here. You'll pull this pin. You'll detach this first filter. Set that aside. And inside of that, we have a microfilter. Now this one here, you will not rinse, okay? If you rinse it, it will damage it. This one though, however, and the other one, you will rinse these, and every 6 months we highly recommend to get some Aquafinesse filter cleaner tabs and soak your filters overnight and then replace them back in the tub. Some customers will go get another set, one of each, rinse these out when they're done soaking and let them dry, and then bag them up and set them away for the next 6 months, and when they can redo their other ones. So either which way you want to do it, doesn't matter. As long as you are keeping your filters nice and new and clean, it don't matter whether you put it with new ones or just clean the other ones, let it sit overnight without filters, and then put the new ones back in. While I have this cover open, I'll show you real quick. This will be your actual last step once you're done with adding everything else. But this is going to be your At Ease frog holder. This here is your chlorine. This is typically good for 1 month on most systems. Luckily though, this Jacuzzi True system is going to let it last a little bit longer. So you'll get maybe 6 to 8 weeks out of it. Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks. This is going to be your mineral cartridge. This is good for 4 months. Again, you may get a little bit more use out of it, but when you're checking your tub, if you notice that you're low, you're not getting the results that you want, it might be time to change that. So we don't have actual numbers in data to show exactly how much longer it will last, but it is going to last longer than your 3 to 4 months on average that you would have with a normal chlorination process. Next, on the back of your filter cover, so here's your filter cover, you will see this little pre-filter bag, or catch bag is what we call it, and it's little clips on there, and you would just slide those on and off to remove the entire bag, and you'll rinse that out as it gets debris in it. And you can kind of see we do have a few speckles in there. All right, so next step. Once you've got your water filling over there, you want to add this in when your water is about halfway full. This is going to be called Prevent. It's another one of our startup processes with the Serona Care line for water care treatment. This will be your metal sequestering. So just dump the entire bottle in. Doesn't matter if you sprinkle it, cascade it, pour it in one spot. Doesn't matter. Just toss it in there. That will help you in the long run. Next is going to be your balancer. So when you're testing your pH, kind of like you've seen, ours was a little bit on the lower side. You'll want to use wrong bottle, Spa Up. Spa Up will raise your alkalinity, will raise your pH, and then Spa Down, of course, will lower your alkalinity and lower your pH. Make sure that you're paying attention to your book. There are certain techniques we have for lowering alkalinity, and there are certain techniques we have for lowering pH. pH is just going to be a cascade, toss it in there, whereas your alkalinity is a little bit trickier. We're going to ask you to use some of your spa water. Because it is warm, it'll help melt the granules in here, and you'll just dissolve that into a cup of water, and then to shut your tub off at the breaker, pour the solution in and let it sit for about an hour, hour and a half, and then turn the breaker back on. Again, refer back to that little cheat sheet laminated booklet that I sent with you, and you'll be able to know how exactly to do those steps, but you can also call and text us and ask us, and we'll help you out too. So the next step, once we have our water balanced with our alkalinity and pH, I know we said that this is going to be a low chlorine tub, but because of the complexities with the system, we want to make sure that we are getting rid of every single item that is in the water source that got entered into your tub. So pre-filter, number 1, the metal sequestering Prevent, number 2. Once we get the water balanced, now we want to really get rid of all that good stuff. So this is Activate Granular. This is a non-chlorine oxidizer. I always highly recommend this. This is chlorine granules, so chlorine you'll just add manually to your tub, but both of these are oxidizers. So whenever you add these, you want to make sure you let your tub run and operate for roughly 30 minutes to an hour. I highly recommend an hour because it will do less damage with the off-gassing from the oxidation process, and it won't damage, if you do have speakers even, won't damage that, won't chemicalize it, won't do your pillows as bad, your cover. So it really does help protect all of your investment there. And the next step before I have you add your little frog at ease, this is going to be the very, very important step you take. So on top of adding, yes, you're going to add a ton of chlorine like I mentioned. Unfortunately, the very first 2 to 3 weeks. This here is going to be your very, very most important step to take. Phosphates. Phosphates is in everything we use. It's in deodorants, detergents, soaps, shampoos, everything, grasses. If you live in a farming community, all those pesticides and crop sprays that they use, crop dusting, those have phosphates in them. So if your cover's open, or even walking across the grass, you get grass in there, leaves in there, that will all add to phosphates in your water. So one of the things we cannot have with the system, in order to make sure that it's truly sanitizing your tub at a lower amount of chlorine or sanitation levels, you want to make sure that there are no phosphates in the water. So when we start your chemical process, we will give you specific instructions on what to do for the first 2 weeks. We highly recommend retesting for phosphates after that 2-week period. And if need be, you might want to do 1 more week. And then after that, it's just maintenance. So once you get to that maintenance part, once a month, 2 capfuls should help keep the phosphates at bay so your tub can fully take over, so you have less work to do. And once we go through all those steps, then we have the frog eddies that I showed you before. So when you open up this little dainty little box, you will have, here's your mineral. This is your actual chlorine. And then you will have your test strip bottle. Again, remember that the test strips here, when you go to test for chlorine, it's not going to show the actual amount that is required for this tub. It's going to show that you almost have no chlorine or nothing at all. So you want to make sure that you're not overdosing your tub. You do not have to have a lot of chlorine in the tub. Just because that test strip says you're low doesn't mean you're completely out of range. As long as you have a little faintness of pink on there, you should be good. If you want, there are other kits out there that you can get that will actually measure a lower amount of chlorine. Remember, all you need is 0.5. Max you want to have is 1. And then you'll have one of the lowest amounts of chlorine in any tub out there on the market today. Now we're going to go through the top side. So here is your jet button. When you activate that, it's automatically going to kick on both pumps. And in order to turn those off, say for instance, you just want the lounge, just turn off pump 1. Pump 2 will stay running. If you want to turn off pump 2, just hit that as well. While we're looking here, we see that little rotation. We can tap on that and your screen will flip. So that way you can actually see the screen while you're in the tub. Come back. Now here is your sanitation. So with Jacuzzi True, it is set up as a light, medium, heavy, 24-hour. I do have mine on 24-hour right now, as I did pull a filter. It did kick back some debris in there. I was not very slick about pulling it out, so just a warning, you might want to have a bucket or something right at the edge and do it very quickly to pull it out. Some people will use a trash bag to catch any debris so it doesn't enter back into your tub and cause a little bit of cloudiness like I did. If you go to light, you'll see there's a boost button, and even on medium there's a boost button. So if you're usually staying on a light or medium sanitation level, which we usually recommend, if you start to see a little bit of cloudiness or you're going to have heavy use, I always recommend boosting it or switching over to heavier 24 hours. These little timers here, these are countdowns. This is actually how many hours for the day your True system has ran. This is how long your filter has left for your air filter inside. The air filter is very important because you will have to make sure that there's no moisture inside the tub cabinet. And then your ozone gets changed every 24 months, 2 years. So those timers are always going to be on there, so you're able to see them, and it'll also be on your phone as well. Here is your light button. So as I click on the lights, we're going to go up, and it's going to be a very light, faint color. And then as I keep going up, it'll get darker, and then we can rotate. And that would be just by attaching this button here. If you want to go faster on a rotation, just tap that there. You'll see it says speed 4 right now. And so now it's going to change kind of on the faster side. I can also drop that back down and make it go a little bit slower. Next, you will have your IR button. You'll always want to confirm. Up, and go back. And then this is going to be your exterior lights. So when you turn on exterior lights, that's what you get. Now that concludes our water care startup maintenance on the Jacuzzi True water system. With that, happy hot tubbing. If you have any questions, please contact us at 573-874-6972. Again, thanks from all of us here at Columbia Pool and Spa.